Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am student of SVC Bangalore. My name is A. Purnashesan, Department of Information Science and Engineering, USN 1VE 22IS001. Subject is Oops with Java. Today, the main topic of our presentation is interfaces and default interface methods. Introduction to interfaces and default interface methods. Interfaces in Java are used to define a contract for classes to implement. They allow for multiple inheritance as a class can implement multiple interfaces. Default interface methods were introduced in Java 8 to provide a default implementation for methods in an interface. Here you can see a simple example for interfaces where there is a class which extends another class, that is called inheritance, and where there is a class which implements that's called inheritance. So that is called interface. Usually to create an interface class you need to use a keyword called implements. Advantages of interfaces. Interfaces provide a way to achieve abstraction, allowing for loose coupling between classes. They promote code reusability by allowing multiple classes to implement the same interface. Interfaces enable polymorphism, as objects of different classes implementing the same interface can be treated uniformly. Here you can see the difference between abstract class and interface. Abstract classes uses abstract keyword, where interface uses interface keyword. Subclass extends abstract class, whereas subclass implements interfaces. Abstract classes can have implemented methods and zero or more abstract methods. Java 8 onwards, interfaces can have default and static methods. We can extend only one abstract class, whereas we can in interface we can implement multiple interfaces. This is the simple difference between abstract class and interface. Defining interfaces. An interface is defined using the interface keyword followed by the interface name. Interface methods are declared without a body and are implicitly public and abstract. Interfaces can also include constant variables, which are by default public, static, and final. So, what exactly is an interface? An interface is similar to an abstract class with the following exceptions. All methods defined in an interface are abstract. Interfaces can contain no implementation. Interfaces cannot contain instance variables. However, they can contain public, static, final variables. Interfaces are declared using the interface keyword. If an interface is public, it must be contained in a file which has the same name. Interfaces are more abstract than abstract classes. Interfaces are more implemented by classes using the implements keyword. Implementing interfaces. To implement an interface, a class must use the implements keyword followed by the interface name. The class must provide an implementation for all the methods declared in the interface. A class can implement multiple interfaces by separating them with commas. So, in order to use an implementation class, interface class, then you have to use a keyword called implements. Using default interface methods. Default interface methods provide a default implementation for methods in an interface. They are declared using the default keyword followed by method signature and body. Default methods can be overridden by implementing classes providing their own implementation. Here you can see a simple program where default interface methods are used. Using default keyword. Multiple inheritance with interfaces. Since Java doesn't support multiple inheritance for classes, interfaces provides a solution. A class can implement multiple interfaces, inheriting behavior from all of them. If multiple interfaces have default methods with the same name, the implementing class must provide its own implementation. So here are the types of inheritance with the same interfaces. So you can see we know single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and multiple inheritance. This all can be done because Java doesn't support this multiple inheritance for classes. This all can be overcome with the help of interfaces. Interface inheritance. Interface can extend other interfaces using the extends keyword. The sub-interface inherits all the methods and constants from the same interface. A class implementing the sub-interface must provide an implementation for all inherited methods. Here you can see a simple example. A class extends another class. A class uses implements keyword and a class uses implements keyword for an interface, and a class uses implements keyword for another interface. And here you can see an interface can extend another interface using extends keyword. So this is an example for interface inheritance. Overriding object class methods. Interfaces can override methods from the object class such as toStringOf and equals of methods. This allows objects implementing the interface to have custom behavior for these methods. Overriding object class methods in interfaces helps to ensure consistent behavior across implementations. Interface default methods best practices. Default methods should be used sparingly as they may lead to code complexity. They are most useful for adding functionality to existing interfaces without breaking existing implementations. Default methods should be well documented to avoid confusion and to guide implementing classes. Compatibility with pre-Java 8 code. Existing code using interfaces will still compile and run without any changes in Java 8. Implementing classes can choose to override default methods or continue using default implementation. Existing interfaces can be extended with the default methods without affecting the implementing classes. Interface design guidelines. Interfaces should have clear and meaningful names reflecting their purpose. They should focus on defining behavior rather than specific implementations. Avoid excessive use of default methods to keep interfaces simple and focused. Examples of interface usage. Interfaces are commonly used in Java APIs, such as the list interface in java.util package. They are also used in frameworks to define contracts that classes must adhere to. Interfaces can be used to implement various design patterns, such as the strategy pattern. So here you can see the various examples of interfaces usage. Therefore, interfaces in Java define a contract for classes to implement. Default interface methods provide a default implementation for methods in an interface. Interfaces enable multiple inheritance, code reusability, and polymorphism. Interfaces and default interface methods are powerful features in Java that enhance code flexibility and reusability. By implementing interfaces, classes can adhere to a contract and achieve loose coupling. Default interface methods enable the addition of new functionality to existing interfaces without breaking implementations. So this is a brief overview of interfaces and default interfaces. I hope you all have understood the presentation. Thank you.